Every hour, every minute, every second, there's something new happening to your favorite pastime. Welcome to Reading Between the Pipes, brought to you by Pastimes on the Mic. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, X, formerly known as Twitter, and TikTok. Stay up to date with everything hockey. This is another episode of Reading Between the Pipes. I'm here with my man, Guy Buckley Jr. We just enjoyed a nice, awesome All-Star weekend. We're back in action today. We got the Islanders and Rangers. I think they both play today. But, Guy, how you doing, though, man?
Good, good. Took a little break. Good to be back.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so I guess we'll dive right into the big fish of the trade deadline here. Elias Lindholm. I know there's a lot of rumors about him going to the Bruins. The Rangers were in on him, but he finally found a home for the next couple months in Vancouver.
Yeah.
Probably the top offense this year as of right now. They add another huge playmaker. He's probably gonna be on that second or third line there in Vancouver. Just watching All-Star Weekend, man. He's the sixth Canuck to be in the All-Star game, which is crazy. That offense is just ridiculous. And they gave up Kuzmenko. He went to Calgary. That kid has a lot of upside, man. I think he was in the running for Rookie of the Year last year, or he actually might have won it. I forget. But yeah, man, it's a crazy deal. That Canucks team, it looks crazy right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Rangers were in on him. I think they were offering like Kako, maybe a first. Um, Not sure what else, but I think that was like the building blocks of it. It was like the foundation was Kako and a first. And I guess I don't blame him. Kako hasn't really shown much on the Rangers. He's been hurt. He's got hurt twice in his career.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that Vancouver team's going to be very, very intimidating to play. Good thing they're in the West, so hopefully
Yes.
someone can eliminate them.
Yeah, seriously, I don't want to see them in the cup with the Bruins make it that far.
No,
That is a team I do not want to see
and
in the
their
cup.
goalie too, get Demko.
Thatcher Demko, yep.
He's having a bounce back year.
Yeah, he's
I
having an
mean, he's
awesome year.
always been good, but I feel like last year he didn't really do that much. But
Yeah,
this year he's really, really showing out.
yep. Yeah, I think all the All-Stars was Pedersen, JT Miller, Demko, Brock Bozer, now Lindholm, and
Quinn
Quinn
Hughes.
Hughes. Yeah, so that team is just ridiculous, man. I'm watching the recap right now of the All-Star weekend. It's just crazy, man. They're all on one team. But
Yeah.
yeah, so the Flames are definitely sellers. And another guy, I think that's on the Rangers' radar as well. I know you want him, Noah Hannafin. I think he's probably gonna get moved as well.
Yeah, we
I don't know
definitely
where.
need to bulk up on defense. I'm tired of the Rangers defense. Hopefully the All-Star break kind of saved them. I've been saying they needed it for a while.
Yeah.
They haven't really been doing much. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's still a lot of moves that need to be made for the Rangers. I don't
Mhm.
know if the Bruins had much talks during the All-Star break. I know the Rangers were talking to a lot of teams. Not sure if you heard anything about the Bruins.
Honestly, there's not a lot going on with the Bruins right now. A lot of fans are saying, and I'm kind of treading this way too as well, in my opinion. I think they should kind of just, don't
Sit
go,
back.
yeah, don't go too crazy. You got a great team, chemistry's great, and I think I said it 2 weeks ago on the show. You don't have to go for a huge, huge name. Just maybe get more depth on offense. Maybe get like a fourth or third line center. Maybe I'm totally content
Yeah.
with Charlie Coyle, Manning, center number one on that first line. Him and Marchand have such a sick chemistry together. Um, yeah, I mean, the Bruins. We had that legendary season last year until the end, and we kind of cashed in all of our chips that year. We were projected to be maybe a fringe playoff team, solid team, and we're kind of back to where we were last year a little bit. We're top of the Atlantic, we're killing it.
Yeah.
You really don't have to go too crazy. We have some free agents come off the books next year as well, so we have a lot of cap space. We could sign Lindholm in the offseason if we really want to, if we want to go that route. So I expect a big offseason from the Bruins rather than a huge trade deadline. I think they should just stay put. All the lines are playing great together, so I
Yeah,
mean,
they've been pretty consistent. So I mean, there's not much moves that need to be made, and a lot of the players on that team are kind of familiar with the playoffs. So you can add maybe one more depth piece, like you said. I mean, that'd be good.
yeah, I would
Not
say
much
like
needs to really be changed there. It doesn't seem like.
yeah, I guess you could feel low key moves just to bolster up the offense a little bit. That's it though. Just let Coyle, Marchand, and Pastrnak man that first line. DeBrusque on the second line, he's been solid. That third line with Danton Heinen, they've been good. So I really don't feel like they got to do too much. So I think they just, it's a win-win situation. You weren't supposed to make it this far or be this good to begin with, and you still have a great, solid team on paper. So I wouldn't really mess with the mojo. Jim Montgomery knows what he's doing. So
Yeah, I do have to agree with you on that. I don't think the Bruins need to do too much.
yeah, I
I think
think
they
they
got
should
it. I
just
think they got it going right now, and they're one of the teams that have been pretty consistent. I mean, you said they had a slump for a little bit, but I mean, it wasn't that
it was maybe
drastic.
yeah, it was maybe like a week. That was it.
Rangers really just haven't been able to figure it out, and it's when I start to wonder if the coach is maybe losing the locker room again. I'm really starting to think the Rangers are just a bunch of drama queens, honestly. They don't
Could
want to
be
play
it.
for certain coaches. They've had a bunch of coaches, man. Carousel
Yeah,
coaches. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, Drury always does end up making moves at the trade deadline for the Rangers, and I know they were interested in Hannafin. I know they were interested in Lindholm. So now maybe Lindholm obviously is not an option. Maybe they can get something for Hannafin.
yeah.
Um, I've seen a lot of Vetrano talk from Anaheim and Henrik from Anaheim. Maybe those two. I don't really
I
know too much about Adam Henrik.
he's solid. He's solid.
Yeah,
He's a center, right?
Vetrano would be a reunion.
Yep.
I do
Yeah,
I do want to get someone like Tarasenko still though.
yeah. I don't blame you. And I was actually reading something. The Rangers, if Tarasenko, because they acquired Tarasenko on February 4th, 2023, last year. So I was actually reading on Twitter. There's a rule that like you can't acquire the same player like in under a year or something like that. So you have
So
to
they have
wait
to wait
exactly a
till
year
so
after
today would
February
be a
9th.
day. Oh,
Yeah.
ninth,
Yeah,
February
February
9th.
9th. Yeah, so they got 4 days, hopefully. So for the Rangers' sake, if Tarasenko isn't moved by February 9th, then they can go all in for him. But I feel like the Ducks makes too much sense. I feel like that is probably the route they're gonna go.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I could definitely see Tarasenko again. It's just like, let's say you acquire Tarasenko again a year later, and then no results happen. You guys fall short in the playoffs or something. Like you paid a tax for Tarasenko. You know what I mean? And say he doesn't
Yeah.
sign again with you guys, that could look really bad on
Yeah,
Drury.
I really think Drury. I was talking to one of my friends on just the off season the Rangers had, and he really fumbled the off season. You had a chance to bring back Kane and Tarasenko, if not one of them.
Yeah, you should have at least
Trade
brought back
Goodrow
Tarasenko.
and possibly trade Kako, and now you're sitting here, didn't get either of them, and you're still in the same boat as you were in the offseason talking about trading Kako. And, I get, like, you really wanted, and I was all for keeping Loff and keeping Kako and really having them grow. Um, and, this was the year I was like, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. So I'm kind of guilty of it too. Like, I didn't want to get rid of him, but
Yeah,
I think now looking back at it, probably should have traded Kako on the offseason.
yeah,
And, but, I'm not a GM. I don't know.
yeah.
I'm
I
just
hear it.
sitting here as a fan talking, but it's tough because now they're kind of in a situation where they are probably going to end up trading a first round pick, Kako, maybe Goodrow, maybe Keandre Miller or Ryan Lindgren. I don't know. They got to do something though because I think they're really lacking like a top six a center and a winger, and then a low end winger because I just don't think Goodrow's just making too much money on that fourth line to be a fourth line center. Like that is just too much.
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone's gonna want to take on that full contract.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying though. Like you said, the Rangers need a center and some depth wingers. Henrique is a center and Vetrano's a winger. I feel like it makes too much sense. I feel like they might just like give
That's
them
definitely the route
Kako.
that has been favorited to. They might go that route.
Yeah, so that I can see them give them Kako a first, maybe multiple picks, and then maybe it's a salary dump. Goodrow as well. But it makes too much sense for both teams. I feel like that's probably the route they will go. And
Yeah,
they were kind of sliding down in the win-loss column right before the All-Star break. So I feel like they're going to want to make a big splash like that just
they
to
got
be
a
like,
big matchup tonight against the Avalanche.
Yeah, that's going to be a huge test for them.
in the Garden.
Yeah, you really can't start off the second half of the season on a loss like that after slitting, right before the All-Star break. So, yeah, the Rangers are definitely on the cusp of making moves for sure. I think they're going to be huge buyers. Trying to think who else is available. I know the Penguins are still rumored to trade Gwenzel. I was huge on him going to the Canucks, but I think that has been put to bed now.
Yeah, they got Lindholm.
Yeah, they got their guy. So I really don't know where he could possibly end up. Maybe
I mean, there was another trade that happened. We got I don't know how to say his name, but to the Jets, Monahan,
oh
Monahan.
Sean Monahan. Yeah, yep,
That was
Sean
another
Monahan.
trade that went down
Yeah, they
since we
give a
last
first,
talked.
first and a third, right, for him.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with him. But apparently, he was on the Flames.
Yeah, very solid player. He had a monster year a couple years ago. I remember that. He's been in Montreal for like what for the last 4 seasons or something like that. Last 2 seasons.
I'm
Yeah,
not again. I'm not really aware of him.
he had that monster year in Calgary back in 2019. He had 82 points in 78 games. Very talented. He can get you 30 goals,
Yeah,
30 goals, 40 assists, probably 60, 80 points a year.
oh, that's good.
Yeah, very solid for Winnipeg. Yeah, had a great career in Calgary. Kind of fell off a bit in Montreal, but Montreal's been a pretty bad team the last couple of years. So it's all about a change of scenery.
Yeah,
Montreal's loaded up on picks, though. So as a Bruins fan, kind of scares me. Kind of scares me a little bit because I know they got Nick Suzuki already. It's
I,
going to come in time, that team.
I'm
But
just shocked about the Zegras talks. Like, have that's not really been coming up?
yeah, it's weird, man. I mean, like, I know they're definitely going to sell Vetrano and Henrique. So, I mean, like, do they want to hold on to the 22-year-old phenom in Trevor Zegras? He's gotten what 60, 70 points each year, full healthy years. He's obviously a stud. I just know he's maturity issues. He's kind of like a Patrick Line a little bit. So
Yeah,
I've been hearing he's just very like immature. Doesn't play for the coaches. Not really a team player, but super talented. I mean, this guy was on
yeah.
the cover of NHL a couple years ago. So I mean, he's obviously good. It's just a matter of the fact whether the Ducks are like, do we just give up on him? And we've seen it with other players, young players like Cutter, Gauthier, you
Yeah.
know, kind of immature, didn't want to play for Philadelphia. So sometimes it goes a long way. Even with football, with Caleb Williams, this kid coming up, it's like if this guy's want to play for a franchise, they'll probably trade the pick back. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Why waste your time?
yeah. And it's like you said, we're just fans. We're not GMs. We're not in the locker room, so we really don't know what this kid Zegras is saying. So who knows? Maybe he gets shipped
I
to
mean,
a
I
team like
definitely
the
could see
Islanders.
how he
But
comes across immature. I mean, obviously, again, we're not in the locker room, so we don't physically see it. But
yeah,
I didn't. That is news to me. I didn't know that
yeah, that's what I've been hearing on Twitter and stuff. He gets compared to Line
because
a
he is
lot.
kind of having a down year as well. He's not really. I know he was hurt for a little bit, but he's not really doing anything.
Yeah, no, he is. Yeah, he's hurt. But the back-to-back years though, 2021 to 2023, in his age 20 season, he had 61 points. As a 20-year-old, that's very solid. On a bad Anaheim team as well. Then 65 points next year. So I feel like he was trending in the right direction. It's just weird though, man. Like I don't know what the Ducks are going to do with him. Maybe they just
Maybe move
hold
him.
on. Yeah, I don't know if he's really like this immature, doesn't want to be there. They'll probably ship him, but it depends who takes the risk on. But and I say risk, but like I feel like at this point he's hurt. You probably buy low on him. He's a 22-year-old kid.
Yeah.
He's got the stuff, man. Probably just needs like I don't know. He needs like Tortorella to freaking coach him or
Whip
something,
him
dude.
into shape.
Yeah, whip him the shape, dude. He needs somebody, man. But
So I'm looking at the standings right now, and I completely stopped tracking the standings after the Rangers went on their little drastic slope.
skid, yeah.
Um, but they dropped to eighth in the whole overall standings. Again, isn't terrible, but
Who are the Rangers?
yeah.
Okay.
And they're a game above, 2 points above the the Hurricanes in the Metro. So with a loss tonight,
Yeah, this is a big game for them, dude. This is a big game because weren't the what wasn't the Hurricanes like on a pretty good like win record right before the break too?
I still believe. Well, this is what I was leading into with the question. If you had to make your prediction for the Metro and the Atlantic, how do you think the final standings are at the end of the year? I don't know
So
if you
it's
want to pull up the standings.
yeah, I have it up right now. So it's so as it stands right now, the Atlantic, the top four teams are the Bruins, Panthers, Lightning, Maple Leafs. Then the top four in the Metro is the Rangers, Hurricanes, Flyers, and Islanders. All right, I'll say this. I'll start with the Metro. Flyers will either be like the last seed or whatever, or they're not going to make the playoffs. I don't see them making the playoffs. They're on a 5-game losing skid. It also depends on how the rest of this trade deadline goes. So I really can't say. If they decide to buy, then I might feel differently.
Yeah.
I just feel like the whole Carter Hart shit, he's gone. He's probably not playing the rest of the year. So you lost your goalie one right there. They just really don't have the offensive firepower. I think I said this on the show actually a couple weeks ago. I love Joel Farabee, but like I don't think that's going to compete with Bo Horvat, Matthew Barzal,
No.
Sebastian Aho, Brett Burns, Panarin, Zibanejad. I just feel like they're kind of lacking in that department huge. And yeah, they're on a 5-game losing skid. They're kind of falling off. I think they had a little fun story. They're kind of like this year's like Buffalo Sabres,
Yeah.
where they start off hot in the beginning of the year or whatever. No one expected, and then they kind of just
Fall
collapse.
off.
Yeah. Um, my top 4 teams for the Metro in order, and you're not gonna like this, but I'm going with the Hurricanes number 1. I just feel like they're just
That's what I think.
they're such a pesty team, dude. Like they just don't go away. I'm going with the Hurricanes number 1. Number 2, because I think they're gonna go all out and buy this trade deadline, the Rangers. I think the Rangers will finish second. Um, third's tough because you have a lot of like good teams that should be doing better, like the
Devils.
Devils, the Penguins, even the Islanders. I feel like after watching like All-Star weekends, like I really grew a new appreciation for Barzell. I feel
Yeah.
like they're actually a pretty talented team, like top heavy. So yeah, I'm going with Hurricanes, Rangers. Third's tough. You can kind of mix and match them, however. Um, just for fun, I'll say the Islanders. Why not? I'll say the Islanders. And I just feel like I don't know. Maybe it's just because Jack Hughes is just too banged up this year. I'll go Penguins. I just feel like the Devils are kind of like too hurt. They kind of lost some depth as well with that whole 2018 Canada team, this whole sexual assault thing. So vibes are probably just down right there. So I'll go Hurricanes, Rangers, Islanders, Penguins. I think that's be the top 4 teams. Because Crosby's having an unreal year, so I think it'll pay off.
Yeah, the Devils are just not panning out right now. They got to
They're
figure
not.
it out.
Yeah, they're not giving me anything to really put them up there. If Jack Hughes was like more healthy, I would
I mean,
maybe.
it is still only a 1 point difference from the Islanders to the
That's what I'm
Capitals.
saying. Yeah, you can really mix and match these teams right here. And the Capitals, I'm surprised they're even like kind of close in this. I thought they were gonna be ass all year.
Arguably in the debate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get that. I didn't see that. But they are having a good year from their goalie, Lindgren.
Yes. Yep. And then for the Atlantic, and it's like I just said earlier, it's why I really don't want to make crazy moves. I don't want to trade Jake DeBrusk. A lot of Bruins fans are like, oh, let's trade DeBrusk in a first for Lindholm when he was available. I was like, nah, dude, nah, it's too much. They want to trade like Trent Frederick. I'm like, dude, those are our 3rd and 4th line guys. They're just like down in the trenches, man. They really like are difference makers on those 3rd and
Yeah.
4th lines. So I really want to keep that intact. So my top 4 for the Atlantic would be number 1 would be the Bruins. I just feel like the chemistry's there. You have the best goalie tandem in the league, and Allmark and Swayman. So yeah, I'll go Bruins number 1. Let's see. Patrick Kane's hurt, so the Red Wings are kind of on the outside looking in right now. They're not really giving me much to hype them up with, but I think Kane is a huge difference maker for that team. So see when he comes back. Hopefully it's soon. Yeah, that Panthers team. I mean, look, they made it to the Stanley Cup last year. They beat the greatest team of all time in the first round. They're really building off of that success. Sam Reinhart's having a monster year.
Kachuk picked it up.
Kachuk's heating up. The fact that we're doing all this without 100% Matthew Kachuk, now that he's kind of back in the action, I'll go Panthers number 2. They're just a really stacked team. Bobrovsky's an awesome goalie. And then these two teams are kind of similar. The Lightning and the Maple Leafs, it's two top-heavy teams. You would think they would be doing so much better, but they're kind of lower in the standings. I think I'm honestly going to keep it as is right now. So it's Bruins, Panthers, Lightning, and Maple Leafs as we speak right now. I think that's how it's going to finish off.
All
But
right.
again, the trade deadline though, this could change because I don't know what the Maple Leafs are going to do. They add somebody, but I just feel like the Maple Leafs are way too top heavy. They have like not a lot of depth outside of their top like 5 guys. So
So as it sits, what were you gonna say?
and I was just gonna say I'll take the Lightning's goaltending over
Oh yeah,
Toronto's right now.
yeah. Toronto doesn't really have it figured out
No,
there.
not at all.
But as it sits right now, the Penguins and the Islanders aren't even in the playoffs.
That's crazy.
So right now, I'll get to my rankings in a second. But right now, you got obviously Bruins, Florida, Lightning, top 3 in Atlantic, and then you got Rangers, Hurricanes, Flyers, top 3 in Metro. And then the 2 wild card spots are Maple Leafs and Red Wings.
Yep.
And then outside of the wild card looking in, you got Islanders with 52 points and the Red Wings have 58 points. So there's a pretty decent point gap there. Not that
Yeah.
crazy, but it's still, So, and then you got the Penguins. So maybe we don't see the Islanders and the Penguins in the playoffs. But again, it is the halfway point of the season, a little bit past it. So, you still got a lot of season left to get back into it. But I don't know. Looking at it, that's kind of crazy. I didn't expect to see that.
Yeah, no.
I feel like last time we talked, like the Lightning were out of it, and just like that, swings happen, and Lightning are third in the Atlantic. Can't count them out. I'm pretty sure you said that on our last episode. You really can't count out the Lightning.
You never can count them out. Nikita Kucherov, Stamkos, Brady Point. I think just those 3 names alone.
Hagel's having a great year.
Yeah, Hagel's a monster. I know Vasilevsky's been kind of ass, but
He's figured it out.
Yeah, if he turns it up at the right time, it's over, dude.
Yeah, I guess I'll go with Metro first. I'm gonna have to agree with you with the 1 and 2 Hurricanes Rangers. I think the Rangers are just a little all over the place right now, and I think they kind of need a trade to kind of save them because or they need Igor to really turn into Igor because he's also been kind of shaky. I just think the Hurricanes are a better coach team and their system, they play it very well, and it just they just kill teams. So Hurricanes 1, Rangers 2. I think the Flyers drop out. I don't believe in them, like you said. I think they drop out drastically with the goalies. 3, I'm gonna have to go. I think the Devils spark it up and they figure something out with the 3 spot, and the 4 spot I've been saying all year. I think it's the Islanders.
Yeah, dude, the Islanders offense.
The 4 spot is just the Islanders.
Yeah, like Bo Horvat, Barzell, and if they make a move for like a Zegras type, if that does happen, would be insane. I feel like the Islanders are kind of in the buy-in part of this trade deadline I've been hearing. So, yeah, it really depends where the pieces fall, this trade deadline. So, obviously, we know with the Canucks. Like
Definitely think the Islanders make a trade for sure.
Yeah, I think
they're going to be buyers.
They're going to be buyers. Yeah. Jack Hughes is still out, right?
I believe so, but their team is still good without him. Obviously, he's like one of the best players in the league, but their team is still good. He's hurt. He has upper body injury. Really close to returning a day ago, they said.
And also their goaltending's not that good either, right?
Yeah, it's never been good.
Yeah.
Vanacek or whatever. Yeah. And I don't even know who their backup is. I've never heard of this. Nico Daz.
Yeah. If there's a team to turn it up, it's definitely them. So I could see it.
I just think they're such a young, fast team, and like it's just like that's just like the new like thing with hockey is like fast teams. It's just they're hard to defend.
Yeah, exactly.
And when they get into like a flow state of like just working, like it's just good luck. I really do think they heat it up though. It's a little crazy to say because they do only have 51 points, but again, the point difference from the Flyers to the Devils is not drastic.
No, yeah, anything can change. Like the Islanders could be like second to last place by next week. Like it's crazy. Like it's insane. Yeah. So we'll see. It's that Metro, man. That is a crazy
Metro's
division.
always interesting, but
Yeah.
the Atlantic's also very, very rough too. Because
Yeah.
I mean, this year you didn't really expect the Sabres to be this team that they are. Like, I really thought they were going to take that step. The
Yep.
Canadians, I didn't really expect much from, but the Senators have really been just a disappointment.
Huge disappointment in the Senators. They
So I
went
thought it
all
was going to
out.
be a lot more competitive in the Atlantic, but you still have 5 top-heavy teams like
Yeah, the Atlantic's
Bruins,
very
Panthers,
top heavy.
Lightning, Maple Leafs, Red Wings. Like, Red Wings really weren't anything crazy last year, but this year they really turned it around, and they're sitting there tied with points with the Maple Leafs. Granted, the Red Wings have 3 more games played than the Maple Leafs, but
Yeah.
still, they're sitting there tied with points.
Yep. It's insane. Yeah, very top heavy division. We got the West too, man. I mean,
The
that's
West
cent-
is scary.
that Central Division. The Blues are making noise now. My boy Robbie Thomas is out here putting a name for himself. Canucks are just out of this world, man. They're almost at 200 goals for already. 20 more than the Golden Knights. It's absolutely insane.
Right now, as it sits, the Kings and the Blues hold the 2 wild card spots in the West, and the Predators and the Kraken are the next 2 with 50 tied actually. The Predators and the Blues are tied in points,
I
but the
feel like the
Predators have 51 games played.
I feel like the Predators are kind of on the downturn a little bit here. They're on a
Yeah,
3 game losing streak. The Blues are on the rise. The Blues looked great against the Canes that one game. The Canes are kind of falling off a little bit too.
should
You really
definitely
can't.
look the Predators should definitely look into trading Soros, I think.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, dude. Imagine
Send
trading
them
him to
to
like.
fucking Toronto, bro. I mean,
Yeah, that's
sorry
what I
for
was
you, but
saying.
I'm just or the Devils,
Yeah,
like they need goalies, bro.
yeah, yeah. I don't see the Preds making it. And I love Forsberg and Soros, but I just feel like it's just not their year.
No.
You can sell Yossi too. Like,
I thought Yoshi was gonna get traded last year.
nah. And it's just crazy. Like in the Pacific Division, the Oilers are on a 16-game winning streak, and they're still in third place. Like, dude, the Canucks are crazy, man.
Well, don't forget where the Oilers were.
No, I know. I'm just saying though. Like,
It
that's
is crazy
how
though.
that's how stacked that division is.
But that's
Like,
why it's good to win these games, man. Like,
yeah,
build yourself a nice little. Like the Rangers are such a bad team right now, and they're still in first in the Metro. Like
yeah,
that's why
because
I can't be too mad. But like, you want to see them figure it out. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
yeah, because the beginning of the Rangers season really bought them some time to like stay in
Oh my
first
god,
place.
yeah. And then I think they just got comfortable, and it's just I don't know. I'm starting to. I hate speaking bad on my teams because I really do. Like my favorite team of all time, football, baseball, hockey is the Rangers. Like hockey for sure.
Yeah,
But I don't know. I'm just starting to think maybe like, these players are uncoachable. I don't know. Like it's just
could
it's
be
tough. It's a tough.
could be an
You
ego
start
issue.
asking questions like what's going on? Like why can't they consistently play good hockey? And I get it. It's a tough sport. I know, but I'm just saying like seems like it's the same situation, or
Yeah,
similar.
yeah. The coach to player, chemistry is super important. Like, it just happened to the Bruins recently. Like Bruce Cassidy, I was so mad when the Bruins fired him. They got rid of him. I was like, bro, I'm like, he's such a good coach. What are we doing? And Jim Montgomery, I didn't really know much about him to be honest. When he first got hired, I was like, all right, like see how he is. Pasternak loves Montgomery. So does Marchand and all of them. Like, it really does mean a lot to like have that coach player
Well,
chemistry.
exactly. If they say
It's
something to them that
huge.
they don't like they're not gonna play for you.
Yeah, it's like the Yankees with Boone. Like Judge loves Aaron Boone. You will never see Aaron Boone get fired, like
Yeah,
unless it gets turmoil between him and Judge. Like
yeah,
it's such a huge thing. Like if you play for a coach you like, you're gonna play good. It's
yeah.
really so underrated. So I don't know how Panarin or whoever it is, Kaka, I don't know who.
I don't know. It's just and maybe it's not the players. Maybe it's just they're just having a slump and they can't figure it out. But it's just all speculation at this point. Like you don't really know. Like you hear all this stuff come out in the off season, like oh
Yeah,
Panarin and Laviette got into an argument and a heated argument in the back of the like shit like that usually comes out after the season. So right now you don't know, but
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I mean, this is one of the longest slumps I've seen from the Rangers for a while. Usually they figure it out, but like it's not even like it's just the team. Like Igor is just out of it. And they
Yeah.
said it looked like he had a good time at the All-Star weekend. Like, he kind of looked like himself. And they said they did an interview with him after the first practice back from the All-Star break, and they said he was in good spirits. So, I'm really starting. I hope he figures it out because he is one of the best goaltenders in the league. And when he's playing great, the Rangers play great, obviously, but the team needs to play better in front of him, I think.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I was watching All Star Weekend a lot, and especially when Barzell and Igor were doing that one on one in the skills competition. I was like, Igor made some good saves. Granted, it was for fun, whatever. These guys aren't really trying, but and I did see that interview with him as well. He did look like in good spirits. So a break, even if it's just like a weekend, that could really change the tables. It could
I've
really,
been saying it on Twitter for a while. They need a break desperately.
yeah. Some
It's
teams
like
just
it's
need
like you
that.
see the light at the end of the tunnel, you're literally just crawling to it. Like
Yeah,
they gotta get to it.
to just reset, get back to what you know.
Something,
Yeah,
it's good sometimes for players too. Some players that don't make the All Star break and they go away or make the All Star team and they go away with their families. Like they just sometimes need that mental reset.
yeah, exactly. So yeah,
I'm just hoping Laviette gets them together. And, he's like just calls out all the bullshit in the room and just fucking dials in and just has a great second half.
yeah. We'll see what happens with the Rangers. I think they'll be fine moving forward. I think
Yeah,
Igor is probably a top 5 talent at goalie in this league, so
yeah.
I think he'll eventually figure it out. These guys usually do. But yeah, All Star Weekend though. Speaking of that, I don't know how much you tuned into it, but it was actually really exciting. I like the new format they did.
Yeah, they did the NBA style draft, right?
Yep. They did the draft. It was awesome. It was pretty fun to watch. The skills competition. I like that layout. It was cool. McDavid brought the hardware home, of course, but he was like the guy that really pushed for this format. So shout out to McDavid though. I think it made the skills competition more exciting than
Yeah.
it has been in recent years. I remember I'd tune in and be like, yeah, it's background noise. It's all right, but I was actually pretty invested in it. I don't know if you saw it with Kucherov though at the skills competition. Did you
I
watch
saw
any of it?
clips of it on Twitter and Instagram. I wasn't really able to tune in too much because I was working, but
Yeah,
I saw something like they were booing him and like they called him like some names. I don't know. I'm not really
yeah.
sure. He like
So
waved them by or something to Toronto fans.
you could just tell he was putting zero effort in. It was hysterical, dude. Like he's just giggling and stuff as like they're all booing him. It was so funny, man. He definitely looked bombed. Him and Pasternak
Really?
both. Yeah, they looked like they had a few before the skills competition. It was
Well, yeah.
hysterical.
I mean, it is like for players that make the All Star break and like have to play hockey on the break, like they're gonna have to enjoy themselves a little bit.
Exactly.
Like it's
But
a laid back like situation. Like it's just for
yeah, it's
fun.
like yeah, exactly. Like no one's gonna remember who the skills competition winner was in
No,
2024.
like
You
we
know what
all
I
know
mean? Like
fucking McDavid's the fastest skater on the ice.
yeah,
Like there's no question about it.
yeah. But Barzell, he was actually making a name for himself in that whole competition, man.
They
He
said that a lot of people turned heads to him on
yeah.
the which I'm like I don't know why like he gets like shitted on. Like he is a very good player
He's
in
a
the
very
league.
talented player. Yeah, very talented. Like I'll be honest, like I always thought he was a tad bit overrated because he would make the All Star game every year. I was like, he's good, but I'm like, I feel like you know, um, Bo Horvat's a little bit better. I always thought that. I always thought,
I think we both
Brock
said that
Nelson.
last episode.
I always thought Brock Nelson has been a better offensive player than him.
Yeah.
But after really watching him, like doing like skills competition, I'm like, this kid is actually freaking sick. He has sick handles. He just
Yeah.
needs to develop a shot more. I feel like that's all he needs. Like he
Like
needs to
we're
work
all
on his
sitting here
shot.
talking about like they need that young stud. Like why can't Barzell just turn into that? And like we're saying he
Exactly.
hasn't really panned out to be that guy. Like he is just really just a great skater, great handler and passer. But really, yeah, like you said, he just lacks that shot, it
Yeah,
seems.
he lacks a shot bad. That's pretty it. That's the only like
And I'm
knock
sure
on
he
his
has some
game.
good goals and stuff like that, but like it's probably just not as consistent.
Yeah, he's not. But yeah, we'll see. But Barzell, he was definitely turning some heads, mine included. He looked great.
So you would say that's your all-star pick, most outstanding player from the weekend? That really
It was definitely McDavid. Kale McCarr, he put on a good show too. He was awesome. He did great in the
didn't he win the
passing.
hardest shot award?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah, he whacked like a 103 miles per hour slap shot or something like
Jeez.
that. Yeah, he's nasty.
I don't even think that's the record. Isn't the record like 105 or something?
Yeah, I think it's
107?
by Shea Weber or
Shea
Chara.
Weber.
Yeah, Shea Weber. Yeah, I know Chara was up there for a while, but yeah, McCarr, he was fantastic. He did really good.
McCarr's probably like, I mean,
McCarr's a cheat code. He's a cheat code, dude.
he's probably like the second best player in the league behind McDavid.
Yeah,
And
when
it's
it comes to
crazy
like
to
all
say
that.
that as a defenseman.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's a forward in a defenseman's body. It's
And I always see
insane.
Ranger fans like going back and forth with like Island or you know,
Avalanche fans.
Avalanche fans. Sorry. Oh, Fox is better. I'm like, Fox is not better than McCarr, bro. And he's just like Fox is my
Yeah,
favorite Ranger right now. He is
he's
not better than McCarr. McCarr is just overall like he's a forward that plays defense.
yeah, he's insane. He
Like
doesn't.
maybe I guess you could make the argument like offensive minded, Fox is better with the puck, but it's just not even. I don't even think it's close
Yeah, and speaking of young
overall.
defense, yeah, and I agree with you too. But speaking of young defensemen, I if you want to talk some All Star snubs real quick, dude, Noah Dobson, man, this kid should have been an All Star. I don't know.
You think he
That's
should have
another.
made it over Barzell, like as the pick of the Islanders? Because he is having a
Yes,
great season.
yes. Especially with the lack of defensemen in the All Star game this year, I think Dobson should have made it over Barzell. Dobson's
He is
been
having a very
unreal.
good year. I looked at it the other night when I was like looking for trades to make on the app. I was
Yeah,
like, wow, he has what 50 something points?
yeah, dude. I think he's like in the Norris conversation now a little bit
Oh,
here.
he is for sure. I think it's him, Quinn Hughes, and McCarr.
Noah Dobson, man. Uh, he should have made it this year. That's probably my one big All Star snub for
Yeah, it's
sure.
definitely a snub for sure. For sure. I'm shocked they didn't pick him over Barzell.
Yeah, 46 assist rate this year.
And he has like 7 goals, right?
6 goals. Yep, he's
Yeah,
at he's at above a point per game pace, man. 52,
we've been
52 points.
saying that you need that offensive minded defenseman.
The Islanders got the pieces, man. I don't know why I'm giving the Islanders a lot of love this episode, but like they got the pieces, dude. They do. I
They
feel like
definitely do.
maybe after this trade deadline, we'll see what happens. But if
Maybe they
Barzell,
trade for someone like Tarasenko. Who knows?
I think they have been linked to him too. So we'll
They were
see.
linked to him last year. They were linked
Yeah,
to him for a while, actually.
like Bo Horvat and Brock Nelson, they can each flirt with 40 goals every year.
I'd be so pissed if Tarasenko went to the Islanders.
Ugh, yeah. For Ranger fans, that would be a dagger to the. Ugh, that
I'd
would
be
be
so
nasty.
upset.
And
Not because I hate the Islanders so much, because I actually genuinely really like Tarasenko as a player, and I would hate to see one of my favorite players on the Islanders.
I know what you mean. It just sucks because like you had him last year too. You know, it's like
And they sucked with him. They didn't do
yeah,
anything. He didn't suck, but they sucked with him.
yeah, and like speaking of the Islanders, now like Simon Holmstrom, young, high
He's
upside
turned
piece.
he's turned some heads this year. It's been
Yeah,
a little
so
quiet as of late, but in the beginning of the year he was really killing it.
yeah, I think he still leads the league in shorthanded goals, 5.
That's a pretty hard stat to pass.
Yeah, that's a hard. Yeah, so it's like they got the pieces, man. They do. They
Yeah, that's
got to be
why I
better.
genuinely believe the 4 spot is the Islanders to take. Like it's theirs.
Yeah,
I don't see another team. I do think I just think out of the bottom teams, like out of the Islanders, Capitals, Penguins, and Devils, out of those 4 teams, I just expect the Devils to get hot,
they had the highest
and
upside for
I
sure.
just expect them to get the hottest in the league and really turn it around, possibly even flirt with 2. But I think they get the 3rd spot, and the Islanders continue to do what they're doing, and they keep the 4th spot. I don't think Crosby's season this season is enough for the Penguins to force them into the playoffs. Unless they
Yeah,
keep Getzel, unless they keep Guentzel, I don't know. Maybe. But I don't that's my prediction after the All-Star break. That's what
yeah.
I think.
Yeah, the Penguins have some tough decisions to make. It's do you
I mean,
go
they do.
for it
They
or do
got some good
you?
players too, and they're just not.
Yeah, I don't understand their struggles really, and they're lacking in goals, which is weird. You have Wenzel, Crosby, Malkin, Letang, Brian Rust. That guy usually scores like 20, 30 a year. Their power play sucks this year. I'm pretty sure that's what I've been hearing. Yeah, I don't know. It's just weird. It's really like uncharacteristic of the Pittsburgh Penguins this year. And Crosby's on pace for one of the highest goal totals of his career.
Crazy
So
at his age.
yeah. So they're kind of they got some tough decisions to make. It's like you
Do they
keep Wenzel,
trade
go
him?
for it, and test in free agency. Maybe you sign him back
Because
when
you
he's a
want
free
to,
agent.
if you know you're not going to make the playoffs, you want to get something for a player like that.
Exactly.
Like
Yeah, you
you're
don't
going to
want.
miss on a huge opportunity. And I'm
Yeah,
sure
you
they're
don't want.
getting calls about him.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, free agent this summer. So I mean, like, do you think he resigns back with Pittsburgh? He goes somewhere else? You got to think. That's why I was saying like a couple weeks ago they should have traded him to Vancouver for Kuzmenko, because then Kuzmenko, you maybe change of scenery. That guy could maybe put up similar numbers as
And
Gwenzel.
you can possibly, if they don't sign him after the trade, you can get him in the off season, get him back.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah. So some tough decisions that Pittsburgh's got to make, but it's an old team too. They're kind of like the Warriors of the NHL.
It
It's
really
like
is the Warriors of the NHL. It
you
really
know
is.
do you choose loyalty or do you choose the best business decision? It's
I don't think they even flirt with the idea of trading Crosby. That guy's
yeah,
retiring
yeah, that's for sure.
a Penguin. Maybe you talk to Malkin about trading him, but I don't think they're gonna want to break up that three.
Yeah, they've been together for so long.
And I'm sure it puts a bad taste in Gensel's mouth, like what's going on? Like you signed those three guys and I'm a free agent next year. Like why aren't we having that talk? Like
Yep.
and I think they offered him something and he rejected it. I might have read, I'm not sure, but I think he's a goner. I think he's gone.
Yeah, I agree with that.
They definitely do have to trade him though and get something for him if he's gonna be
Yeah,
if they
something.
know they're already right now they're not trading him. They're not making the playoffs and they're not signing him, trade him. Get
Yeah.
something for him. Because you're getting a first and a player for that guy for sure.
Yep.
At minimum. And they have the Toronto GM, old Toronto GM, right? Dubas or whatever his name is.
Yeah. Yep.
So he made a splash getting Carlson. Um, I don't know. I think they're such a good team on paper. I don't know why they're not executing.
Yep.
And they could get hot too. I just think the Devils are the team with the most upside to get hot.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's tough. It's like I said, they should have traded him to Vancouver for Kuzmenko because then you kind of have a win now piece. You're still in,
Yeah.
contention. Would have been a good move for them. But I'm trying to think of teams that could use Gwenzel. Though. Obviously, any team could use Gwenzel, but
I would take him on the Rangers, but there's no way
yeah,
the Rangers communicate with the Penguins on making a trade.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm trying to think of some teams.
You got to think of Team West.
Yeah, imagine it was the Avalanche, dude. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'd be. I mean, like
Oh my god.
I'm thinking of like the Lightning. Like the Lightning went out and got Hagel.
Yeah,
Like I'm not saying Hagel and Guentzel are on the same, but still, like why the hell are the Lightning doing that? But they're going all out. So maybe a top team will do it like the Avalanche. Who knows?
yeah. The rich get richer, man. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about your boy on the Rangers real quick, Filipino?
Yeah, man.
As a Czech, I always root for the Czech players. It sucks, dude.
Maybe we'll end on a sad note.
Yeah. So
No, it sucks, man. It really does. Like he was out of the three of him, Kako, and Lafreniere. I really had the high. I think I even said, did I say him or Kako in the beginning of the year?
you were always high on Heedle. Like I feel
Yeah,
like
I'm pretty sure it was him. It was him that I was like, I really think this guy's gonna have that year this year.
I
Out of the
remember you
three,
saying that even like 2 years ago, like when I first knew you. Like
he
I
was
remember
just like
you're high on him.
he just was one of my favorite Rangers. And I'm not like I'm talking like he's dead and he's not on the team and he's retired. Like like it sucks what happened to him. Like it's just terrible.
Yeah,
But like something like that, you can't really mess around with. Like
yeah,
I honestly think he should take this off season or the season, rest of the season to think about like retirement. Like
yeah,
it's that bad. Like he's had multiple concussions in his young career.
yeah,
Like you can't mess around with a head injury like that. So I mean, if he comes back, I'll still be rooting for him, but I do think he should think about possibly retiring. It's just terrible because he really does have such a great skill set, and he could have eventually filled into a top 6 role with the Rangers, I think.
Oh, for sure.
Like after one of the like top pieces left,
Yeah.
because eventually that will happen. But it's just unfortunate. I think he does come back, but it's just like now you gotta now people are talking about filling that role, and it just sucks because like he could play that role.
Yeah.
Just it's just an unfortunate situation, but it's part of hockey, man. It's part of sports. Shit happens like that.
Yep. It's one of those big like what if guys, like what if he never got hurt?
Yeah,
It sucks. Yeah.
and a lot of my friends that are non-Ranger fans like him as like they're like how you watch other teams and you have like favorite players on those teams. Like that was like
Yep.
my friend's favorite players I've ever take from other fans.
Yeah.
His
It's just,
game's good. He's a good hockey player.
yeah. I know it sucks. He's young too. How old is he? 24?
I think he's 24.
24? It's too
I just
young,
remember
man.
the Lightning series, kid line. He scored 5, or no, the Hurricane series scored 5 hole.
Yep.
So happy. I'll look it up. I'll send it to you. But yeah, he's gonna be missed this year for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully, he gets the treatment, whatever he needs, and just maybe, makes a decision on whether to continue his hockey career or not. I wouldn't blame him if he retired. It's like your health's more important at the end of the day. So, yeah.
He'll be
Anything
back,
else?
I think, but definitely got to think
Yeah,
about your future and your health. Yeah.
for sure. For sure. Scary shit, man.
Yeah. Thank you for bringing that up because I did want to talk about that. I just
Yeah.
completely was lost on other topics.
Yeah, I was checking the doc real quick on topics, but I think we pretty much cleared up everything. I'm sure we'll have more to talk about when this trade deadline really, sets sail. So yeah, this was Reading Between the Pipes here on Pastimes on the Mic. Thank you for tuning in. Follow us on YouTube, X, formerly known as Twitter, TikTok. We're talking hockey. Wednesdays, we're talking baseball, football. So tune in. It's Pastimes on the Mic. Thank you, everybody.